Good morning. It's Sunday, July 26th, and we're going to continue our discussion on action and duty with a prompt from the Daily Stoic which reads, "Where can I pitch in? How can I help?" So after reading today's meditation and then that prompt, I was surprised to find my mind not immediately go to where I would have initially expected, to some broader civic responsibility or to some communal interest. Instead, I felt the questions, how can I help? Where can I pitch in? On a much more personal level. Rather than addressing our society at large, I found myself asking a friend. And that's when I realized how much I've let myself slip as a friend in the last 2.5 months. Remember when quarantine kicked in back in April and everyone freaked out at the prospect of not seeing anyone else besides their immediate family? Remember how instinctively lonely everyone felt when they couldn't socialize the way that they previously had? I also remember that time period as being one in which I was more connected to my friends both here and around the world than ever before. My days and my nights seemed filled with texts, phone calls, Zoom calls, and FaceTimes. I was constantly checking in or being checked on by others. I spoke on the phone with old dear friends with whom I hadn't spoken in years. We were so desperate to cling to any form of virtual interaction that we could find in an attempt to assuage our fears of isolation. It was therapeutic as we asked questions about each other's experiences and we empathized and supported one another. Just thinking back to that flurry of initial activity is enough to make me smile. But it didn't last. Not for me at least, as I can't speak for everyone else's experience. With time, the frequency of those outgoing and incoming calls slowed and then fell off a cliff. Generally speaking, that's how it's remained for the last 2 months for me. So today's prompt reminds me of that, as it's a question I haven't found myself asking enough lately. I question, why did I let that change in behavior happen? Why did I let that aspect of human interconnectivity slip away? After all, it was something that brought me so much joy and happiness, feeling the presence of people that I cared for in my life, even if only virtually. And the sad answer is that because it takes effort, and not a lot of effort, just a little bit, just enough to allow me to fall back into a very myopically focused view of my world as I work to navigate the challenges that we're all experiencing. I adjusted to the new circumstances and developed new habits. Unfortunately, checking in routinely with my friends to see how they were doing and to see if there was any way that I could support them didn't stay as part of one of those new habits. I've felt that disconnect recently, even if I haven't acknowledged it. And I know that isolation isn't healthy for me or for anyone else as an established and accepted practice. I realize it's also very self-centered behavior. I do have the time to make that phone call. It's not an inconvenience for me or for the recipient. We'll both benefit from having experienced that connection. And with no end in sight to this new world of isolation, we're all going to be better off if we proactively work to hold on and embrace sympatheia, or that interconnectedness and interdependentness, every chance that we get. So I guess I better make some phone calls, and I'll talk with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.